What's up, you two? How's everyone doing this lovely day? This your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Tribe with me.
What up?
Um, Continuing on with the Unsungs, we're going to talk about Leela James episode. This episode aired last night, and for those who don't know who Leela James is, she's a singer. She was originally from Los Angeles. No, she's definitely like one of those like traditional R&B singles, which even the title traditional R&B is a problem, but we'll get into that in a minute. Um, she had 6 albums, always stay in her lane and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She was also on R&B Divas and things of that nature. So I've heard a few of her songs over the years, like
Mm,
that song "Music." I love that song. I love the song that "Tell Me You Love Me." The one with Anthony Hamilton. I remember that was like a big hit at that time.
right.
So I was like, you know what? I'll give her Unsung a chance. You know what I'm saying? I never
Yeah.
really considered her unsung. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because I've always thought that she might not be like the most underrated, but her name is still very strong when it comes to R&B circles and stuff like
right.
that. So you know, a lot of stuff. And this is one thing about her unsung that struck out to me just
Mm,
from the first 5 minutes.
right.
Why is it that the labels always want to push the authentic R&B to the side? Pretty
Right.
much.
Yep.
And it's crazy too because it's like people who are R&B singers now is just like now they're trying to mix the whole trap or EDM sounds and stuff
Mm,
like that. Whereas you have Leela James having that raw, funky R&B sound, and the fact that it took like about how many years? It was like 5, 6 years till the album finally came out
crazy.
and shit like that because it was shelved. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then she came out with a song "Music," which I remember my sister actually introduced me to that song,
Right.
and yeah, that was just pretty much an ode to like R&B music, soul music of like '60s, '70s, and stuff like that. The video's pretty dope too,
Right.
and I never knew she actually opened for James Brown. I never knew she opened for James
Yeah, that's
Brown,
crazy.
and James Brown was always like a strong influence on her too. What else about her? I've always respected how she always did things her own way when it came to her career.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The producer that she worked with, his name, what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? It's like Ralph something. It starts with an R
Right.
and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean Rex Rideout?
Rex Rider. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So yeah, definitely dope chemistry with that. She also talked about when she appeared on R&B Divas, which um, I've never really been a big fan of that show to be real
Mm.
with you, but
See, I used to watch that show, but I don't think I watched the season that she was on. When it first started, it was I think it was Kelly Price and
yeah,
Shantae Moore. I watched like first maybe 2 seasons. Kiki White was on that show and Monifa.
yeah,
And yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see when Leela was on that season.
yeah. I mostly watched it like during like the first season, but it was just most like Blink If I Missed It because cause I'm not like a big reality TV fan like that. But
Right.
yeah, man. And she talked about the death of her best friend from breast cancer
Yeah.
and stuff, so that was pretty sad. So yeah, man. All in all, this was a pretty good episode
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Definitely want. She's definitely an artist I would definitely want to check out more for music
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So yeah, and like I said before, I just wish that she would have had like more of a jump start to her career and stuff like that because she definitely has a good sound and shit. So yeah,
I think I heard the name, and like I said, like I've seen her videos before. Like I've seen what was it? Don't Want You Back. But that was the video with like she's like at the table like playing cards with the gangster chicks.
hmm,
I remember seeing that video on like BT late at night, but I didn't know. I wasn't like familiar with her music back then, so you know what I'm saying. But she gorgeous, you know what I'm saying. And she can sing. I've always like heard about her, but I never like. And she got like 6 albums out, and I don't know none of them. I don't know none of her songs like that. And You know, at least like with her, she got not she got signed to Rough House Records. We know Rough House for like Crisscross and Cypress Hill and the Fugees.
Yeah,
But for I want to know why they didn't really explain why Phil Nicolo and Chris Schwartz just they didn't do nothing with it. I mean, cause they always had a good like track record with their artists on that label. I mean, they said like the label went out of business at that point. But I'm like I don't know. I feel like they could have at least put out a single or a couple singles from her
yeah,
before the label folded. But um like for her album to be like shelved at Warner Brothers for 5 years, that's ridiculous. I've never heard that ever for in any genre. You know what I'm saying? It's like because
yeah,
usually, especially at that point, it's like like in the whole digital era, like if your album is shelved for 5 years, more than likely it's not coming out at all.
right.
I mean, look at all the artists like 50 Cent, Power the Dollar. That you know what I'm saying? How long that took to come out? I don't even think it officially came out, right?
Nah, it didn't.
You know what I'm saying? And so many other albums that put on the shelf and never came out, and that's just crazy. And I just thought that Warner, but it's Warner. I'm not surprised. Prince, the great Prince, had his issues with that label, and they really don't really know how to develop their artists. But she got like a second chance, and she made the most of it, and Tell Me If You Love Me. That was like one of her breakthrough songs. I don't know that song at all, and that was big for her. And then they talked about like how she wasn't going to show more skin just to be relevant and seen out there. And I thought that was great because that's the same issues that a lot of women had in hip hop. Like if you're not showing skin, you're not gonna be out there. Like Rhapsody doesn't do that, and Shay Noah, and they might never reach that plateau of a Salt and Pepper or a Queen Latifah because they're not showing skin. You know what I'm saying? Whereas when you have Foxy Brown and Little Kim was always showing skin and everybody knows them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's something that women have to face, unfortunately, in the industry. And I'm glad that they talked about that, and she stuck to her guns and said she gonna do things her way, and she did it. And people are recognizing her for her work and not for how she looked. And they talked about like her, like having her daughter and having her son, and getting married and then getting divorced. And like her friend had cancer, and then she passed away. And all this is like bittersweet stuff going on in her life, and she was still doing her thing in the industry, and coming out with great R&B. And I look at her as like a like neo soul. I think she's more neo soul. I don't, what I'm saying? Like I don't see like her sound just speaks neo soul. It just speaks like soul music. Like she's like the female, equivalent of like a Anthony Hamilton. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see like even if like I think even if she had came out under Rough House Records and or Warner, I don't think she would have been like in the same realm as Beyonce or Alicia Keys. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's usually the great neo soul singers that are overlooked that make the best music to me. You know what I'm saying? Like how many times have we talked about like Donnell Jones and John B and those type of singers. Even Anthony Hamilton himself is like I feel like they always been overlooked
Right.
for the bigger names like R. Kelly or Genuine. You know what I'm saying? So um, I don't. It was good. It was good. I definitely feel like she's one of them unsung heroes that people need to now look. Go in her discography and check for like a lot of her albums and her songs. And I'm gonna definitely check for her stuff. 'Cause I don't know none of her stuff, and it's already 6 albums. I'm like I don't know of any. I don't think I've ever been late on an artist like that. That already had 6 albums, especially in R&B. Like it'd be one thing if it was like maybe another genre, but R&B, I like most of the artists that have like 6 albums already. I already like know of their music. So um It was real interesting, and then like she got with the right producer. I never heard of Rex Rideout. This Rex Rideout producer, I never heard of him either. But he gave us some hits, and "Fall for You." That was like a huge ballad in her career, and I definitely want to check out her stuff now.
Mm. Yeah, I definitely hear you on that, bro. Because I'm definitely thinking about checking out like some of her earlier albums, especially that Change is Gonna Come album and stuff like that too. So
Right.
yeah, man. I just definitely very, very, very love this episode in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um Again, this is what the show should be doing, like, putting like unknown artists on and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Giving them their spotlight on song and shit. So yeah, man, this was definitely a very good episode. One thing that I definitely liked about the episode was just how they were talking about how in the beginning, like, do you know how Unsung's now doing this thing for this season where they have the people actually do like a little acapella, a little short mini
Right.
performance before like the episodes and stuff like that, which is
Mhm.
kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I love that one performance that she did where I think she invited her best friend on stage and stuff like
Right.
that. Yeah,
Right.
that was a nice look and shit.
Yeah. That was good.
Hmm.
Yeah. She. Like I said, like I'm. It's a shame that she's just now getting her respect, because she probably could have gotten all of this praise like a decade ago, and I wanted, like, I feel like when I was watching this, I felt I started thinking about Jaguar Wright, and we know Jaguar Wright is talented as well, and I'm pretty sure she went through something similar like Leela. Well, even it might be even worse because of her alleged um the stories that she have about Common and stuff and other rappers. But Jaguar, I think, is talented too, and she's been slept on. I would like to see her unsung on Jaguar, so she can tell her story, so people know, like, yo, oh, this is what was going on with her, and why we ain't hear from her for so many years. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that might that's those are the stories they need to, like, focus on, like those unsung R&B artists that they've been around for like 10, 15 years, and why is it we just now hearing about them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
After like 5, 6 albums, like we should have heard about Leela James a long time ago, and it just sucks that that's the thought process in the industry, that, oh, well, you got to show skin to to get put on, and it's not about the talent, and that's how I feel about, even with, like I said, like with the rappers, and with the female rappers in the industry. Like, if Megan wasn't showing skin, would she be this big? I don't think she would be. You know what I'm saying? But because she has a body on her, people are attracted to her. It's like, she's like the talk of the town. But if she was like, you know not showing any skin, I don't think she would be as big. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
those are the type of stories that I want to see, like more of those Leela James stories. Like, let's focus on this artist, and tell their side of the story, and shed light on the work that they've been doing for years that people don't know of.
right.
You know?
Yeah, but anyway, this was a very good episode and shit. Very,
Yeah.
very, very good episode. Like I said, next week is the Hezekiah Walker episode. Ironically, that's gonna be on Easter.
Right.
Um, Loki, I might just start listening to some Teddy Pendergrass albums tonight
Right.
and shit like that because again, that's gonna be on Easter too. So I definitely want to start with that fucking 1979 Teddy album. Oof,
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's an album I need in my. I don't even think I got that album in my collection. Fuck.
Word.
But yeah, definitely thank you so much. Again, sorry that shit took so way too long to
It's all
send.
good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I'm just gonna remember just to upload it on my Google Drive and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
from this point forward. So that I think that's the easiest shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna have a good night because I'm about to get me some sleep before I watch my grandma tomorrow.
All right. Cool.
All right. Make sure y'all subscribe and like this video, and I will see y'all later. Peace.
Peace.